What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 29th day of October, and here we are at about 113.3K. We got 10 hours and 50 minutes left in the day, and here we are moving up a little bit, which is nice to see after yesterday's downward price action. I'm a little perplexed with the price action today because I don't know what to think. Are we moving higher into this FOMC announcement, or are we going to see a little volatility to the downside? Yesterday, I was expecting that this was the low. I think it's important to call out that I did call for this to be the low, was not expecting that we'd go lower, but I wish I mentioned in yesterday's video that it's okay if we go lower. Just like now, I'm going to tell you, I'm kind of expecting that we move up. We'll see. But it's okay if we do go lower. And if we're looking at this on a daily time frame, the low here to the high here, the 382 is right down there at 111.3K. Now we measured from this low. From this low, you've actually had a very healthy and proper interaction with the 382, I think. And that low looks great. But do I take this low for this move, or do I take this low? I feel like I should take this low. And in which case, right now, based off the fibs, just the fibs alone, statistically speaking, it would actually be very probable to go down to about 111.3K. That doesn't mean that we have to go down there, but it would just be, looking at it like this, it'd be a very strong possibility. However, again, low to high here, based off this fib, this is a really good area to find support. I'm curious to see what happens. We got 2 hours, 49 minutes left in this 4-hour candle. I think if this candle can close above 113.6K, or if we can get any 4-hour candle to close above 114K, we likely validate this as a low, and we likely do move higher. So watch out for 114K as a validating area of breaking through right here, okay? If not, again, if we do go lower, 111.3K, somewhere around there, might be a good area to find support, and that's fine. Okay, we could even go lower than that, and that's fine. But just kind of looking at it in this aspect, from a low here to a high there, that's the 382. If we connect this low to this low, and we give a trend line pulling it all the way out here, it's like it goes right there. It's perfect. It's literally perfect. So, and maybe we even go just below that trend line. Who knows? Again, we could go lower and everything's fine. We could go as low as 108K and everything's fine, you guys. But I don't think that we go that low. Today is the 29th. Today we do get Jerome Powell announcing that they're going to cut rates, interest rates. The Fed's going to cut interest rates. So I do assume the market's going to react positively to that. And then Trump and Xi are meeting tomorrow, and I would expect the markets to react positively to that as well. Perhaps in the long term, maybe not in the short term. Perhaps we move up a little bit in the short term, but then after the announcements from both those days, we sell off. We buy the hype, we sell the news. But overall, in the long term, I would expect this promotes growth over the coming days and weeks. Looking at this on a 1-hour perspective, the RSI looks kind of nice. Okay, it looks kind of nice because you're getting deep in the overbought zone. You're reluctant to get into the oversold zone at all. You have this downtrend with lower lows and lower highs, sure, but can you see it? The lows are kind of rounding out here. That's nice. That's actually really nice. And sometimes when you get this kind of behavior, you do just flip right into an uptrend. So the 1-hour RSI is optimistic, let's just say. The stochastics have a good implication in continuing as well to the upside. But with that being said, you are getting into the overbought zone now, and this is typically a point at which we do reject down and we come down. So just be aware of that as well, okay? MACD looking like it wants to come up a little bit, but overall kind of bearish on the 1-hour. We won't count it too much because it's the MACD on the 1-hour. It's not as reliable, I feel like. The stochastics and the RSI are a little bit more reliable. I want to say we're moving higher looking at this, but looking at the 4-hour time frame, we get a bit of a different story here. You've got, a break in trend. You had higher lows, higher highs, right? It was a nice uptrend here. I can't draw a straight line. Right there, right? You broke out of this trend recently. You've kind of got a new trend going on. You rejected the 50 recently. If this 4-hour candle closes red, you have 2 hours and 46 minutes left. That's a lot of time in this candle. If it closes red, the RSI will not be pointed upwards like this. It'll actually be pointed downwards, furthering the idea that you are in fact rejecting the 50. So if this 4-hour time frame closes red, I really think that would provide enough proof, in my opinion, that we do go lower. We don't have to, but we could. We're at a perfect area to find support here. We really are. Right here with this low, prior resistance there, if this is the proper fib from this low to this high, you're right at the 382. You're having a great reaction here. You just have to continue, right? And again, I think getting a closing period above 114K is vital to mark that continuation. And ideally, I think you get 2 4-hour candles in a row to close above here. So effectively, between now and the end of the day, if we can get our 4-hour candles to close above here, that'd be very validating to the idea that we have found the low and we probably do move higher. Understand that if by the FOMC meeting, because it's the 13th hour now, that'll probably be, I think it's in 4 hours, or maybe it's in, is it in 4 or is it in 3? Whenever it is, that this 4-hour candle should be done. It should be printed. So, right, because what time is it Eastern time right now? What time? I was looking this up. 2 p.m. Eastern time. What time is it in Eastern time right now? Yeah, I should have just said Eastern time right now. You don't have to ask. 9:15. Okay, so they're 2 hours ahead of me. So 9:15 right now. If it's 9:15 in the morning, but it's going to be 2 p.m., 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, that's 5 hours from now. It's the 13th hour here, so it'll be on the 18th hour. Whatever. Point still remains. If this candle closes green by that time, I think we will continue to move up. If this candle closes red by that time, maybe we move down. But regardless of what happens, I wouldn't be surprised if we get some volatility during the FOMC meeting. You know, we might sell off during it and then pump back up, or we might pump up and then sell back down. It's very common to get some volatility amidst these meetings. So traders beware. You've been warned, I suppose. Again, the 1 hour time frame, getting back to work here, is suggestive that we move higher. But you have to do that, right? You're also at a point on the 1 hour time frame in the stochastics where you could find resistance. You're at a point here in the RSI. Even though I like the rounding lows here with the bottom of the RSI, you're at a point of resistance here in this kind of trend as well. You know what I mean? Like it's not drawn perfectly. Let's see. I mean, maybe you go up a little bit higher, but still near the resistance point here, near the upper limits here, you could find resistance and move down. But I really, really do like this curving on the 1 hour RSI there. Looking at the 4 hour time frame makes me bearish. It's really hard to say. But again, if this 4 hour candle can close green and then you get above the 50 instead of rejecting it, this is like a false rejection. I think that's nice. That actually typically works out pretty well. Not always, but typically. Here it did not work out well. I don't know. Here it did work out well. Here it worked out all right, and then it didn't. But stochastics on the 4 hour would also suggest, if we close this candle green like this or higher, would also suggest that we found a low. The MACD here, I mean, it looks good enough in my opinion. You could turn around here. It allows you to go a little bit lower, and it's okay if you do go a little bit lower. You can cross there and then bounce. I don't know what to think, man. I'm sticking with the upside. We're sticking with that call. Okay, we'll call for that. But if we do go lower, understand that 111K, 111.3K, something around there, that's a very prime area to find support. Okay, prior support here, resistance there, resistance, turbulence there, relative low to high, that's the 382. We take this low to high. It's also your 1886200 area. I mean, it's a perfect area to find support. So if we do go lower, 111K, 111.3K might be an intended area. Don't be worried about that. We look at the liquidation levels over the past 30 days. The shorts are definitely dominant over the past day. The shorts are definitely dominant. Over the past week, the longs are dominant. So again, we could clear out some of these longs before moving higher. But I wouldn't be surprised if we moved higher first. We'll see. Weekly time frame. Let's go to the daily time frame actually. I like the RSI. Typically when you bounce from this area, typically you do get to the overbought zone almost every single time except for this time here. But even then you got higher than you are now. So I would expect over the coming days we do grow, over the coming weeks. MACD looks good. Stochastics look good. I mean, I definitely think that we're going to grow here over the coming days and weeks. But if we find a little turbulence today and tomorrow because of the announcements that are being had, the events that are going on with Trump and Xi and the FOMC meeting, don't be too surprised. Weekly time frame. I like the MACD overall. Yes, we're closed red, but I don't mind it. Stochastics are bouncing right off the oversold zone. We like that. And the RSI is bouncing right off the 50 again, so that's nice as well. I mean, overall, I'm expecting that we do break out to the upside. Overall, we are at the maturity point of this pattern here, this megaphone pattern, right? Lower lows, lower highs. So whenever we, if I'm in moments like this where I'm kind of scratching my head, I think it's always good to fall back to the pattern, the overlying pattern that we're in. And the guidance that we get from this is that this was a partial decline. We reached for this level. So even if we do move down from here, we're likely not going to break out of this pattern to the downside. We're probably not going to return to levels that are anywhere near that trend line. We probably don't go below these lows. So even if we do go lower, it'll be a higher low overall, and we will inevitably break out. That's the expectation. We know we're going to break out because you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves within this pattern already. You're in the process of figuring yourself out what you want to do here. And typically whenever you reach for a trend line but you don't hit it, that's called a partial decline. Typically in these broadening patterns, that's what you see whenever you are breaking out to the upside. And that breakout should take us all the way up to about 150K and beyond. Okay. Probably sometime in November we'll see 150K. Anyways, I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Take care of yourselves. All right. Bye-bye.